Hello everybody, and welcome to today's lesson. Today we're going to learn all about prepositions. Prepositions is one of our English word classes, like nouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, and so on. But prepositions have a special job to do, and we're going to learn all about that job today. So, let's find out, what is a preposition? Preposition is a word that tells you when or where something is happening. And it tells us about a noun in relation to something else. Examples of prepositions include words like after, before, on, under, inside, outside. There are quite a lot of words that are prepositions that you've probably been using every day, but just not knowing that they were a preposition. So the first type of preposition we're going to learn about today is a preposition of place, or the position of a noun. And there's a good way of remembering this word preposition, because did you notice that the word position is actually within the word preposition? So if you come across that question in a test, what is a preposition? I've forgotten. Well, think about it, look at the word. Position is part of preposition. It's always going to be something to do with place of position. So our first example, the noun is dog. And this time, the dog is in the box. So the preposition that we've used is in. This time, the dog is on the stair. Prepositions of place. There's quite a lot. Can you think of any more? For example, the dog is beside the dog bed. How about these examples? Have a look closely. Where is the dog? Can you use a preposition to tell me where the dog is? That's right. The dog is under the table. What about this picture? The dog is where? Let's use the preposition above. Well done if you thought of above. The dog is above the box. Now we have a dog and a cat. The dog is where in relation to the cat? The dog is next to. These two must be good friends to be sitting so close to each other. I hope your dog and your cat are friends. As you can see, there's a lot of prepositions. There's more than this list. This just gives you an idea of a few of the words that are used with nouns to tell us where things are. How about you have a go now? Here's a preposition, between. We've got a dog and we've got two beach balls, and we could probably make a good sentence using the preposition between. Have you had a think? Good. Well done if you came up with a sentence like, the dog is sitting between the beach balls. How about this picture? This time, I've not given you a preposition because you could choose your own, couldn't you? This time, the dog is perhaps in front of the kennel. Could you think of a different one? Perhaps the dog is outside the kennel. Perhaps the dog is near to the kennel. There's always a choice of prepositions, and when we're writing, it's important to choose a really precise, specific preposition to show where your noun is. Now, usually in this time of our lesson, this stage of our lessons, we'd have a little game using the online dice. This is quite a good one that I like to do with my pupils, using a dice and just making up sentences. Some of them are a bit silly, but good fun sentences that work using all these prepositions. But today we've got to move on because it's time to learn about prepositions of time. Okay, prepositions can also refer to when a noun happens. Let's look at it. So prepositions of time. The most common ones that you will see are in, on, and at. For example, in summer or in any season, in autumn, in winter, used with months as well. You might use it with the years in 2020, in 2023, next year. You can also use it with times of day, like in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. On is another common preposition. This one often used with actual days and dates, like on Tuesday or on the 15th. Sometimes you might actually say on Tuesday, the 15th of August, or on Easter Day. At is another good time preposition that you will see, often with specific times like at 8 o'clock, or at Christmas, or at noon, at night, at the weekend. There are lots and lots of different examples that you could use using in, on, and at. You can also use these prepositions with places. But if you see it with a time, it's just being used as a preposition of time, using time as a noun. Don't forget, prepositions go with nouns. There's a few more that I'd like to share with you. We've got words like after and before, since, until, through, from, during, by. There's more. But these all need to go with a noun to tell us when the noun is. Let's look at some examples. I went to Spain before the summer holidays. Before, the preposition of time here is being used with a noun. Do you know which is the noun? I hope so. The summer holidays is a little noun phrase. Before tells us when. I played video games after dinner. After, the preposition is going with the noun dinner. Since kickoff, Jack has tried to score. So the main part of the sentence, Jack has tried to score, has some more information in form of a preposition and a noun, since kickoff, telling us when, kickoff being the noun. I wonder if this has happened to you. During the night, I was hungry. During the night is telling us when, and the night is the noun. Some good examples there of prepositions being used as time prepositions. So just to recap, prepositions can tell us where a noun is, but they can also tell us when a noun is. These are the two main uses of prepositions. There are some more complicated prepositions that we can learn about in future lessons, but for the sake of today's lesson, I think it's important that we understand prepositions are words that tell us where a noun is or when a noun is. If you're feeling a bit more confident now and think you understand prepositions of time and place, why not join me for my next lesson? Because we're going to learn then all about prepositional phrases, which aren't as hard as they sound. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.